4 in the playoffs. What a season he's had.
Brown goes inside. Oh, what a slam from
the Panthers have a 3rd and 10. Here comes pressure. So the ball is out in the end zone. And it's
Wheeler finds Claude from the logo.
Edelman in motion. Edelman takes the swing pass. Edelman's going to throw. He's downfield.
Back everyone to our Week 8 NFL picks. Last week was a fairly decent week for me. I went 11-4 on the week, which brings me to 63-44 overall, and puts me in second place, back out of last place. So starting off the week, we have a Thursday night football game, which could be interesting. We have the Vikings at the Rams. The Vikings lost a tough one last week against the Lions, but the Lions are a really good team. It's tough because it's their division rival right now, and they're fighting for first place in the division. The Rams have been injured and beat up all year long. They might have Cooper Kupp and Nacua. We're not 100% certain, but we think at least Cooper Kupp will play. That could make it interesting, but I think the Vikings are still much healthier and a much better offense, and I don't think the Rams will be able to keep up with the Vikings offense. So I think the Vikings win this game pretty easily.
I think I'll go with the Vikings because I just think they're the better team. They put up a fight against the Lions, and the Rams stink.
It's going to be a clean sweep then for this one. I am taking the Vikings on the road. They did lose a heartbreaker to the Lions last week. Lions are a very good team. The Rams may be healthy this week. If they do, that might change things a little bit, but I don't think it's going to change it enough for them to win. The Vikings defense has been pretty solid, and their offense has been really good. Sam Darnold's been very good. So I just think the Vikings are going to go on the road and win this one. So I'm taking the Vikings.
All right, next up we have the Jets at the Patriots. The Patriots look absolutely horrible. Drake May looks really good still. So at least we have a good quarterback, but nothing else is going correct for the Patriots, except for our upcoming draft pick potentially. We're playing against the Jets, who keep adding former Packer players, but continue to lose, which makes me really, really happy. We also have no London game this week, or no bye weeks this week, so that's interesting. This is in New England, but the Jets are still 7-point favorites to win this game. Just for the record, I think the Jets are going to win, but I hate them so much, I'm going to pick the Patriots anyway. So this will probably be a loss for me, but I refuse to ever pick the Jets to beat the Patriots for the rest of my life.
Well, for the record, I think the Jets are going to win, and I'm going to pick the Jets to win because I think the Patriots are on par with the Carolina Panthers.
So before I make my pick, though, I got to give a shout-out to the Mets. Great season. They made it further than anybody thought they would. They gave us a lot of great moments, and hopefully they build on this and can continue their success, and it's not going to be a one-year thing. Going forward, I think they will. They got the right management in place, GM, manager. They got some great core players. So with a little tweaking of their lineup, I think they'll be right back competing again next year. And got my Al Horford jersey on, as the Celtics this week will start their defense of their title. And I know this is biased, but I'm picking them to put banner number 19 up again this year. I really don't see anybody beating them. No team I don't think made any great strides in the offseason that's got them to where they need to be. With that, I'll get back to football. Jets and Patriots. Jets are dysfunctional. The Patriots are not good. Drake May has been looking pretty good. I have him on my fantasy team. He's scoring lots of points. I'm going with the Patriots to win this one at home. I think the Jets are just in their own heads at this point, and everybody's blaming everybody but themselves. So I think they're in for a very long rest of the season.
I'll add my 2 cents for baseball. I don't like the Dodgers, so I'm not necessarily cheering for them to win, but I am cheering for the Yankees to lose. So take that however you will. In addition to that, Celtics, aside from any injuries, are definitely going to repeat. Tatum is on his revenge tour, and they are going to be unstoppable.
I think November 6th, if I'm not wrong, Golden State comes to TD Garden, and Tatum gets to meet his old friend Steve Kerr, who can't coach his way out of a wet paper bag.
Yeah, I expect a Celtics 50-point win for that game.
Yeah.
So, on to the next game now. So back to the Eagles at the Bengals. The Bengals have been piecing some wins together, although they've been against really bad teams. They're playing at home. They're 3-point favorites. The Eagles have also been piecing wins together against really bad teams. I'm going to pick the Bengals to win this game. The Eagles are pretty much winning because of Saquon Barkley, single-handedly. And the Bengals, as bad as they are, have more of a spread-out talent on offense. Jamar Chase is playing well. T. Higgins is playing well. Joe Burrow is playing well. So I'm just going to go with that. 3 points is, I think, pretty accurate. This could come down to a 1-point game either way, but they're at home. I'm going to roll with the Bengals to keep their winning streak going here.
I still think I'm going to lean towards Bengals because the Eagles, I don't know, they just scared me with the 4-point game against the Browns.
I'm taking the Bengals. They're 3-4, but they've won a couple of their last games here. They're usually slow starters, and this year they're a little slower than normal. I think they've got things figured out. Their defense is not great at all, but I think it's going to be good enough to win this. Because I don't think the Eagles can contain the Bengals offense because their secondary's been pretty bad. Oh, I'm taking the Bengals at home.
All right, so now we have a couple matchups I think that are not really going to be all that close. First, we have the Packers playing at Jacksonville. Packers are 5-2. Jags are 2-5. Green Bay, they're only 4-point favorites to win this game. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, a little shocking, don't
That's
you?
ridiculous. The Jaguars only looked good because they were playing against the Patriots. And they've been in London the past 2 weeks, so they've had time to adjust. But whatever. Aside from that, the Packers just won a really tough game against the Texans. The Packers look really good. Their defense looks really good. I think they beat the Jaguars by like 20 points. I don't think it's close. The Jaguars had a fluke week, and I think the Packers will just dominate them start to finish.
I'd say Packers by like 25-30, honestly. I think they're going to dominate them pretty easily, actually.
I'm taking the Packers on the road, too. I don't see them losing this game. Jaguars have not been good this year at all, and I don't see them. I mean, they had one good game against the Patriots, big deal. So I just don't see them beating the Packers. So Packers are going on the road and picking up the W.
All right, next up we have another one that I think will be a blowout. 1-5 Titans going up against the 5-1 Lions. Lions are at home. I won't spend too much time on this game. They're 12-point favorites. I think this is a game where the starters might be out by halftime. Lions win easily.
I hope they're not out by halftime. They're on I got several of them on my fantasy, and I need them to play the whole game.
I'll still have 30 points by
Yeah,
halftime.
that could be.
Yeah, I don't think I need to say much either. I think it's going to be like a 25-point game by the first quarter.
Well, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one either. Lions are going to win.
A rematch of a game earlier this season, Falcons at Tampa. This game was really good the last time they played. It is in Tampa. The Falcons are 2.5-point favorites. I actually don't think it's even going to be that close. Falcons are also kind of coming off of a rough loss against the Seahawks, but I feel bad for the Bucs. They lost Chris Godwin for the year with a dislocated ankle, and Mike Evans is out for the next 4 weeks with a pulled hamstring. So I don't think it's going to be a close game. I think the Falcons are going to win this one just based off of being as healthy as they are. I think the Buccaneers will not be able to have enough offense to keep up, and I'm taking the Falcons to win this one.
I would have picked the Bucs last week if this was a matchup, but because they lost their 2 receivers, I'm just going to have to pick the Falcons to win it.
I'm picking the Falcons to win on the road because Tampa Bay's just beat up. I mean, they've been playing well, but their offense took a big hit with losing those 2 receivers. So, Falcons have been playing better. And I'm going to take the Falcons on the road.
Next up, we have the Cardinals coming off of a pretty impressive win against the Chargers, going into Miami against the Dolphins. Tua is back from his 97th concussion, and Miami are 4-point favorites to win this game. which is a little
Which is
confusing
odd.
there. Yeah, it's a little odd. I know the Dolphins offense plays much better when Tua's in the lineup. I'm not sure how this game is really going to go. The Cardinals have been very inconsistent this year, and I don't know how quickly Tua will be able to shake off the rust. Maybe he'll come in there, and maybe he'll just start throwing bombs to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and they'll be able to win. But I'm just going to go with the Cardinals because I have a hard time picking a team with a quarterback who's been out this long, just being able to come in and win a game. So it's in Miami, but I'm going to go with the road team here with the Cardinals and give them the win here.
I think I'm going to pick the Cardinals. I'm not even sure if Tua's going to stay in the whole game this time. He might get another concussion. Either way, I don't trust the Dolphins yet to win. I have to see after this week how they look.
Yeah, I'm going to also take the Cardinals. I don't think that Tua coming back is going to be that huge of a difference because I'm sure he's going to be a little nervous back there in the pocket every time he goes back to throw. And I don't think you're going to see him taking off and running. And I think he's going to play a little scared. So I have to go with the Cardinals.
Yep, I agree. Next up, we have another game I won't really talk about much. We have the Ravens at the Browns. The Browns actually may do better now that Deshaun Watson is out for the year. They have Jameis Winston starting. I don't think they'll do much better, but they might do a little better. It's hard to do worse.
Right, it'd be hard to do worse.
With that being said, the Ravens are the Ravens, and they are on a roll. And I'm going to tell you guys something. This is kind of a hot take right now because I've never really thought this way, but as of right now, the Ravens are actually my new Super Bowl favorites to go to the Super Bowl. Every year, I've picked the Chiefs the past few years. And last year, when the Ravens were the favorite to beat the Chiefs, I picked the Chiefs. But something is telling me this actually might be the Ravens' year with Derrick Henry. So obviously they win this game, but let's keep an eye on them. 8.5-point favorites. Let's see what happens.
Ravens. Skip.
Ravens.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no need to say anything.
The Ravens are good. I still don't think I can take them to beat the Chiefs. They're a great regular season team, but they choke in the playoffs every single year. I'm picking the Ravens to clobber the Browns.
The 4-3 Colts going up against the 5-2 Texans. Texans are coming off of a game where they wish they would have won last week, but they still played pretty well. They are 5-point favorites to beat the Colts. They're at home. I think they definitely beat the Colts. The Colts are not really that great. They're very, very mediocre, and the Texans are pretty good. So they take the win at home. Easy.
I'm just going to take the Texans. Anthony Richardson can throw the ball as accurately as I can, pretty much. So I like him, but he's not that good. And the Texans are just a better team.
I'm picking the Texans to win this one at home. Colts are inconsistent. They are 4-3, but Texans are not as good as they were last year, I don't think. But I still think they're better than the Colts are right now. And so the Texans picking up the W at home.
So we have the 5-2 Bills going up against the 4-3 Seahawks. Seahawks coming off of a big win. Bills coming off of an easy win against the Titans. I'm going to go with the Bills this game. They are 3-point favorites. And Seahawks have been very inconsistent. I think the Bills are more consistent. They have a better quarterback. So I think they win this game on the road here.
I can agree with that. I just still hate the Seahawks, so I'm going to take the Bills.
Buffalo on the road is a 3-point favorite.
Yeah.
So I guess Vegas even thinks Bills are better. So I'm going to pick the Bills to go on the road and pick up the W.
I think it'll be a close game either way.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do think it's going to be good because Seattle's a hard place to play. Mm-hmm. They got great crowds. Their fan base is awesome. They're noisy.
All right, next up we have the matchup we've all been waiting for. We have the 4-2 Bears with Caleb Williams going into Washington against the 5-2 Commanders. Now, this is a conditional pick for me. The Bears are 3-point favorites. If Jaden Daniels plays,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm picking Washington to win this game because he is the better quarterback. If he doesn't play, as well as Mariota played against the Panthers last week, I think the Bears defense will be able to shut down Washington enough to win this game because they've been playing very, very well on defense. So that's my conditional pick.
I was going to say the exact same thing. If Jaden Daniels plays, I'm taking the Commanders.
Well, I'm just going to say, you know what, I'm taking Washington, regardless of who plays. I know the Bears are 4-2, and they're finding ways to win. And Caleb Williams is getting a little bit better each week. But I think Washington is going to be at home, and they're going to be fired up for this game. I'm going to go with Washington to win at home. No conditions.
All right, so next up we have the 1-6 Panthers at the 4-3 Broncos. Broncos are 10-point favorites to win this game. Bryce Young is back in the starting lineup, and I will spend very little time on this. Broncos win.
Oh boy!
Add it to the parlay.
Here we go. We're gonna continue your.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pick the Panthers.
Say it into the mic.
I do not believe whatsoever the Panthers are gonna stand a chance in this game, but I'm gonna pick them. I think this is gonna be like a 15-point win for us.
So you're taking the automatic loss?
I will take the automatic loss.
Oh boy! I'm taking the Broncos because I'm not dumb. Broncos win at home easily. I'm really actually surprised the Broncos are 4-3 right now, but they will win easy.
Next up, we have the 6-0 Chiefs, the last undefeated team in the NFL. We have the 2-5 Raiders, who are fighting for a good pick in the draft next year.
Yes, they are.
Chiefs are 9.5-point favorites, and they will go on the road and definitely win this game.
Yes. I don't have much else.
You don't have much else to say?
I don't want to talk about the Raiders.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, you don't. You can talk about the Chiefs.
Nope.
All right, well, I'll talk about them. Chiefs are 6-0, very soon to be 7-0. The Raiders are playing for their quarterback for next year. I'm sure they're going to be in the quarterback market, and they're going to try to get the best quarterback they can out of the draft because they're not a very good team right now. Chiefs on the road, 7-0.
I feel like you should start this one.
You want me to start this one?
Go ahead.
All right. Cowboys at Frisco. Frisco is beat up, injured, and the Cowboys are just really bad. They are 3-0 on the road, but we have Dak Prescott. So, and this is, even though this is, the Frisco's not really good right now, they're 3-4. For the Cowboys, this is a big game, and we know how Dak Prescott performs in big games. So I'm picking Frisco and probably the over on 3 interceptions for Prescott to throw because he chokes in big times. That's why we're paying him $60 million a year, because we don't like beating good teams. We don't like getting into big games and having us perform well and win. So we need to pay $60 million to a quarterback that cannot win a big game. So I'm picking Frisco.
But I think I'll take San Francisco because, the Cowboys are terrible.
They are.
Especially at home, but they're not playing at home. But I don't think it's going to matter after last week. San Francisco, bad loss, should rebound.
So this is going to be my second conditional pick of the week here.
All right.
We have, I guarantee when the NFL put this game at Sunday Night Football, they didn't think this was they were going to be the two
You're right.
types of teams that were playing each other. Because if this game happened last year, it would have been a lot better. And
did.
the 49ers, well, I did.
It did happen last year. It wasn't that good for the Cowboys.
No, that's true. So 3-3 Cowboys on the road, 3-4 49ers at home. Niners are 4.5-point favorites. So here's my conditional pick here, because we know Ayuk's out for the year. Not that he was playing all that great. Jennings might be out. Debo's questionable with pneumonia, and he almost messed up my fantasy team last week playing, but whatever. So here's my pick. If Debo plays, I'm going with the Niners, because the Niners just have been owning the Cowboys the past few years.
Decade.
Yeah. If there's no Debo, I'm just going to throw this out there and go against the other two picks and pick the Cowboys and hope I can gain an extra win. But I don't know. He's questionable, so we'll see what happens. And that leads me into my next pick.
It does.
So here we have the final game of the week. The Giants are somehow 2-5,
Yeah, somehow.
going on the road into Pittsburgh, who are 5-2. Not really a game I need to spend too much time on either. Steelers are 6.5-point favorites, who now have Russell Wilson at the helm.
Looking good.
Yeah, it took him a half
Yeah.
to shake off the rust, but he is looking to be the best quarterback on the roster. and I think he's going to lead them to another win here. The over-under is 36.5. This could be a low-scoring game.
Yeah,
the Steelers,
both teams have good defenses.
Yeah, I don't know what happens here, but I think the Steelers win. So that's my final pick of the week.
I'm going to say the same thing. I think the Steelers win as well. And honestly, I don't really have much else.
The over-under is low, but I think both teams Pittsburgh likes to control the ball. They have a good defense. They like to run, eat the clock up, so I don't think it'll be a high-scoring affair. And the Giants' defense is not bad. So it's just their offense and their quarterback is not that great. Although they are on the road, so he may throw a touchdown pass. I'm going to take Pittsburgh to win this game fairly easily in a low-scoring affair.
All right, that wraps up our Week 8 picks. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. And just remember, we are 10 subscribers away from 1,500, so we're getting really close to that 1,500 subscriber milestone. So make sure you subscribe, like, comment.
Yeah. And before we go, let's just do our World Series picks.
I got to go with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I'm not picking the Yankees.
Dodgers in 5.
Dodgers in 5. That's what I'm going to say. Dodgers in 5. I can never pick the Yankees, even though the Dodgers beat the Mets. They were the better team. That lineup is pretty strong from start to finish for the Dodgers. It's going to be very tough for the Yankees that don't have a great pitching staff. So the Yankees do have 3 pretty good hitters. They got 2 really, really good hitters in Judge and Soto. But Judge in the playoffs and up until the start of the World Series, he's only batting 200, I think. So typical, he gets in the playoffs and disappears every year. So.
And the Dodgers have Shohei. They
Yeah.
have former Boston Red Sox,
Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts,
Right,
two-time champ. I think he's a 2-time World Series champion at this point.
Yeah.
This will be the only time I cheer for an LA team.
Yeah, I hear you.
You should give me 1 3-pointer, and if I make it, something happens.
Does he make it?
All right, we'll see you
And
next
it's
time.
good.